Hi, and welcome to the Selling in the Motor Trade podcast in association with CarWow, the online car-changing destination. Together, we share tips and ideas on how to sell more cars, improve your service department, and generally put more profit into your department, dealership, or dealer group. I'm your host, Simon Bokert, or some of you might already know me as Skippy. Firstly, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Selling in the Motor Trade. Today, I want to talk about all things Auto Trader. And you see, at the moment, when we're recording this, Auto Trader has got their Deal Builder product. They've been trialing it for a while. They've been offering it to more and more dealers, but now it's mandatory. That's right. So Auto Trader said, you've got to have Deal Builder. And I've got to say, from the start of this podcast, Selling in the Motor Trade is a podcast for dealers. So, of course, this episode is all going to be focused on the dealer relevant insights. From a consumer, great. I think it works really well. And of course, Auto Trader is a consumer. That's number one. That's what they want. And also, this is not knocking Deal Builder. I suppose I just need to get my head around and understand it. We've had lots of dealers, lots of clients, pro and against it. Is it good? Have Auto Trader gone too far? Are they trying to do what we're trying to do? So let's just go and explore Deal Builder and how it's going to work. So let's start off by saying the online-only retailers. You know, in recent years, everyone's talking about online only. That's the way it's going to be. It was going to be mouse to house, I think. But I think it's fair to say Kazoo, Cinch has almost shown that those purely models where it's online only, it's small, and I think it's a shrinking segment. Okay. The consensus is that omnichannel is the future. Customers want the convenience of online, having a look online, starting their process after hours, but still complete it in a dealership. I think the trend is that people want to start their process online, but actually they want to make sure that they complete it when the customer's there. Okay, so let's have a look at Deal Builder. Deal Builder, digital retailing solution integrated in the vehicle adverts. Okay, so essentially it lets the customer do much of the purchasing process online before they even get to the forecourt. Okay, so you can configure a deal, add a part exchange valuation on it. Okay, the customer can reserve the car for £99. And of course, if they reserve that, that's reserved with Auto Trader, not the dealer. I suppose that's the bit I kind of struggle with. I like the idea of a customer reserving a car. Is it a reservation or is it a deposit? I want to explore that for a little bit there. Then the customer, nearly Auto Trader saying, you know, half the Deal Builder deals are struck outside traditional business hours, and I get that. That's where people are doing all their research and they're looking on it. Auto Trader have shown that sales they complete. If you go through a deal through the Deal Builder, they're converting about twice the rate of a traditional email or a phone call. Now, this is Auto Trader's figures. Auto Trader said 80% of the people who reserved online turned into a sale. Now, that is from their trial, and I suppose I want to question that. Not calling Auto Trader or anyone a liar there, but is that because the early adopters that bought into this, the dealers I'm talking about now, were they more proactive with it? And I can say we work with a dealer group that has a hold me function. Okay, now lots of you guys listening to this will have that as well. And I just looked at the figures before hitting record on this. And actually it was 39% of the people that held the vehicle, okay, end up in a sale. So I'm not anti that side of it at all. But again, this particular dealer group It holds the vehicle until 12 o'clock the following morning. There's also a facility if someone has held that particular car, another customer still sees the car, okay, and they can also say, "Oh, by the way, can I have first right of refusal?" I don't know how they word it, can't remember that, but they have that. My concern is the customer on a Friday night full of vino reserving this car for £99 through Auto Trader. How long is it? There was some confusion out there that some dealers I spoke to said, the customer can then reserve the car, hold on to it for 21 days while they continue doing the shopping around. Well, my understanding it's not quite like that. And again, I'd love to get a representative from Auto Trader to get their view on it as well. I do understand now it's 3 days the customer can reserve it, but if we don't hear from the customer or we don't get hold of the customer, we can actually just resell it. I think Auto Traders put a bit of hooks in there if we say all the time to the customer, "Oh, sorry, that car's sold. Oh, we've sold that." We'll be on their naughty list, I think. Santa won't come and give you gifts, and Auto Trader will come and probably try and charge you more, I'm guessing. Okay. Again, some of the online people who trialed this said it's saving them probably 2 to 3 hours on every deal in time because all the legwork is done up front. The customer's done all of their valuation online. Okay. Auto Trader again claims that 3 in 5 dealers saw reduced in the haggling of the deal builder. Okay, I get that, but if someone's going to complete online, well, I'd be amazed if anyone's still haggling after that because they're going to click online because they've agreed that that's a good price. Now, of course, it's a good price because they've already satisfied their fundamental need for comparison because they've seen it's the cheapest one there. Again, is it that race to the bottom there? And of course, 3 in 5 dealers said they've seen reduced in haggling. I mean, reducer people are still going to haggle after they hold on it. Is it? I suppose it's what my first sales manager drummed into me. Okay. Listen, if you're taking the car off sale, it's off sale because it's sold. It's not just because you're going to hold on to it. Now, also, I suppose my concern with this is, shouldn't this be what we're doing as dealer groups? If we're going to decide, okay, that we're going to have £99 deposit to hold that, you decide we're going to hold it until 12 o'clock the next day, we're going to hold it for, goodness me, 3 months if you want. As dealers, we decide, I don't think anyone would do that, but surely we should hold it. Is Auto Trader sitting right in the middle of the dealing process? Okay. Okay, it was optional to start with. Fine, I have no problem with that. I love the idea that lots of big dealer groups, and again, if you're listening to this, you might say, well, we kind of do this anyway. I suppose the independents, and we do work with the IMDA, and the IMDA have lots of independent dealers that might not have the infrastructure, the ability to go, the resources to write this. So I get that. But being mandatory, that's the bit that I can't get my head around. I really love your views. This podcast goes out to about 6,500 dealers now every Thursday. So I really want to get your idea because, hey, we run a sales training company, okay, and we might, I might be seeing this from a different angle there. You might be saying, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Or you might be like one particular dealer I spoke to said, this is complete madness. What is this all about? I suppose the next thing I need to kind of throw out there. What about the data? I'm not seeing anyone talking about this yet. And if they have, I've missed it. But if the consumer goes to Auto Trader and they go through the whole process, firstly, they hold onto it for £99. They have time to continue to shop around. Anecdotally, there's people, I heard from one dealer, the person was out of the country. He held on to the car, okay, couldn't get hold of him. I said, well, surely you'll sell it to someone else. He said, yes, but the trouble is it's still marked up there as effectively sold. He said, Skippy, you know what it's like. When someone sees it sold, they keep on scrolling through and trying to find something else there. Okay. And I suppose he had a point there. But then if the customer says, yep, I'm going to go ahead with it, let's go down the trade-in route, the part exchange route. Auto traders get involved there and value the car. Concerns me a bit when I first hear that. But if your dealer's not done that before, let me tell you, so many times a customer will value the car a lot, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot more accurately than what our car salespeople do. And that's something that we've seen with lots of dealer groups that have an appraisee app or some sort of self-appraisal system there. So yeah, don't get me wrong. Of course, some customers do try it on. But in my experience, more salespeople try on misdescribing cars to their manager. Oh, if you're a sales manager, why would you allow salespeople to value the car, appraise the car, without going out and touching it, looking at yourself? It just amazes me. Okay. However, here's my next concern. The customer who says, yep, I'm going to go ahead and go down the finance side of it. So I've reserved the car. I've got my valuation on my car. I've gone down the finance, put in my finance application. The customer has, oh no, let me rephrase that. Auto Trader has all of my customers' data now. Auto Trader, I think they've got a link with Moto. I'm not quite sure on that one, but they got a link to their finance company. Actually, is Auto Trader right in the middle of this? If Auto Trader insert themselves in between, okay, it blurs the line between who's the customer. Is it the customer of the dealers, which it should be? Is the customer part of Auto Traders? What happens when they're resoliciting that customer, when they come to in their finance agreement? Are they going to start marketing directly to the customer? Now, listen, Auto Trader, it's the number one platform there. And fair play, they've built it, okay? We know that that's where customers go to start with. But I'm just concerned about who owns all the data and control of that, okay? The other bit is, and this is anecdotally, if it's a good idea, if they like this, okay, if the dealers like it, and listen, I have got a source of someone working for Auto Trader who have actually said, we've been pushing this, they like the idea of it, but not enough dealers were taking it on. They were going out there selling the advantage of this, telling everyone how good this is. Okay, it's a no-cost option, but still not enough dealers were taking it on. That tells me everything. And then they've made it mandatory. I've got lots of dealers saying, hey, Auto Trader, don't force our hand. Okay, a deal builder going from optional to effectively mandatory. Why did they have to do that if we dealers are buying into this? Okay. I've got to say that talks volumes to me. I've got to say it really, that worries me. Okay. I suppose other concerns about this that I've just heard out there is at the moment it's free until the end of 2025. It was quite funny. I did hear on one of the forums there, okay, that one dealer came in and said, this is great because I actually can sell cars in my sleep. And someone else came back and said, the only thing that happens in my sleep is Auto Trader keeps putting their prices up. Now we know that Auto Trader, what's it, 8% they're going to put their prices up in April. And listen, again, I get that. Auto Trader is expensive, but they got the number one place in town that people go to, okay? But free until the end of 2025. What's Auto Trader going to do to monetize this? Okay, is it going to be a higher package? Okay, Is there going to be a commission per sale model? Don't know. Is there going to be a percent on every the cars that you have in stock? I've heard this. I think it's a bit of a red herring out there that it was banned around that I think it was a quarter of a percent of your stock was going to go to a fee to Auto Trader. I heard that for a while. I think that could be false news if I'm brutally honest on that one there. Um, my concern is their partnership with Moto Novo. I'm pretty sure it's Moto Novo. If I'm not, my apologies. Again, I'll have Auto Trader coming and telling me there. Um, actually, Dealbiller makes Auto Trader very much the middleman between what we do. The results, I just like to I'm a bit concerned with some of the figures of what they're saying. Okay. Some of the dealers are very, very impressive matrix on what they're saying. Some of the tried dealers there. Some of the other people, maybe not as high. But they got the only show in town with Auto Trader, the race to the bottom. Okay. The amount that we charge, or they're charging, the amount that we have to send to them each month, if they're becoming right in the middle there, what else is out there? Okay, what can we look at? Now, guys, full disclosure, CarWow is a sponsor of the podcast. So again, I might be tainted there. And I'm going to say CarWow, okay. I always seen them as a race to the bottom on the new car side of it there. And they had where they were charging us what was it, 250, 300 for every new car deal we did. But we always seen them as the new car leading platform. But of course, they're going heavily into the used car space. Okay. And this is since 2022, 2023. I interviewed John Vicmanus on this podcast. In fact, we spoke to Philippe on this podcast and talked about how they might be taking on Auto Trader. And guys, I think, come on, Auto Trader's pretty big there. Okay. Lots of people have tried to take on Auto Trader. Can you guys actually do that? Well, maybe when having a look at this, maybe more dealers will look at other ways to get their cars in front of people. You see, CarWow, to be fair to them, are coming from a slightly different place. Okay. See, CarWow, they already have through their YouTube, you got Matt Watson. There's so many people. I think it's over 10 million people are subscribing. Okay. They've also acquired Auto Express, Evo, Car Buyer, and that they've got another 10 million views there as well. And I've got to say, in CarWow, so many people go to CarWow to do their research to start with. And a lot of people go to Auto Trader as well. But 3 out of 4 visitors to CarWow, I say they're considering used vehicles. So we know CarWow, you can actually, I suppose, a dealer can choose how they sell, when they sell, and who they sell to. There's the advantage of that there. And CarWow, they want to see themselves as a one-stop. But you know what? CarWow is just one of the different models out there, and that they're going to a subscription model as well. So I'm sure you've seen that they're launching a subscription model, okay, where it's a flat monthly fee there. But again, CarWow, they're not the only show in town. Okay, you got Heycar. Okay, now Volkswagen and Daimler, they introduced this. It's high quality online used car marketplace. Okay, sure, it's not as big, but they talk more about quality there, okay, and how they work. They're not the only show in town, okay? They're not trying to put themselves in the middle there as well. You've got eBay Motors, motors.co.uk, okay? I don't know how long they've been out there. You've got Gumtree Motors there. They've been acquired by Cox, okay, and then by eBay. So these guys there, they're a classifieds listing site there. We've got the franchises. How many of our inquiries come through our manufacturer? I'm looking for a used Land Rover. I'm going to landrover.co.uk. I'm finding out where is that Defender I can find there. Okay. I've got to say, Auto Trader. Now, I'd really love Auto Trader to come in here. Have they bitten off more they can chew? Are we as dealers going to, and I'm not a dealer, okay, but I'll work with lots of dealers. Are we going to put up with this? Or is this the bit where we turn around and say, okay, maybe it's one step too far? I know at the moment, and I buy into omni-channel. I like the idea of people can do lots of start the process online. And again, in our training, we talk about that all the time. But where's the end game on this for Auto Trader? Once they've got our data, once they've got the finance data, once they've got this, what's the next step? Are they resoliciting? Are they talking to our customers all the time there? They're putting themselves right in between this. So I've got to say, if you're someone from Auto Trader, listen to this. I'd love you to come on the podcast. Suddenly Motor Trade, reach out to me on LinkedIn there. I'd love to get your views on it. For me, from the outside, lots of people I've spoken to is in the motor trade. Is this madness? Have they actually said this is where the future's going? We want to make sure that we're right in the middle of it. Or have they actually seen some of the things that are popping up there and thinking, hey, we have to get into this now? Because they may have seen the writing on the wall. Can you continue just to push up the price? Oh, and by the way, this week, Auto Trader, they're doing well, okay? They've just released their profits, and again for 2024, they're doing all right, okay? But they can continue to push it up. Where else can dealers get their cars out there? Anyway, I suppose this is more of a rant this time, but let's see how this one plays out. But anyway, that about does it for now. Let's see if someone from Auto Trader reaches out and says, no, 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 we really are on the dealer's side. Be interesting to see if that happens. Anyway, let's see if that happens, and I'll see you next time. That just leaves me to say that all details of this episode and other episodes on the selling in the motor trade can be found on our website, simcotraining.co.uk. Go there to get a copy of our book, Words That Sell Cars. Go there to sign up to a free trial of our Sales Fitness online sales training program. Easiest way to get hold of me is Simon Bokert through LinkedIn. Thank you.